All right. All right, to finish up this logo, we are going to need a circle around it. We're going to need some waves in there, and then we are going to need the text. So let's start with the large circle for the logo. We're just going to make sure we've got our ellipse tool selected on the on the shape tool. I always call that tool. And then I'm going to go up to where I want the circle to start, and left to where I want it to start on that side. Hold down Shift to make a round circle, and make it approximately the size we need it to be. You can see it happens on the top of everything, so we will just drag it down for now to the very bottom, and use the arrow keys to nudge it around, get it in the correct location. We're actually going to put it a little lower than it looks like it should go right now, because I'm going to put some waves in there. And you can see we've got a conflict of color interests here. I think what would look better for me is if we were to go in and adjust the gradient of the boat. So it's already a gradient, and your gradient tool doesn't appear to be around anywhere. But if you ignore that, if you were to click on this gradient tool right here, it lets you see what you've already got going on for that gradient. It's those same little tabs that you had originally. So I'm going to double click on this one. I'm going to change it to a light orangish color. I'm going to go in and double click on this one, change it to a medium orangish color. And of course the one on the bottom, you need to make it a little more rusty. There you go. The one on the bottom, we're going to click on this and change it to a dark purple color. I'm kidding, dark orange color. That was so hilarious. Anyway, I'm sorry. So we've got it where it stands out against the background a lot more brightly than before. In this background, I would also like to put a gradient on it. It's already kind of got one going on, but we want to be able to adjust that. So it's just kind of taken on that same look as before. I want to go to my gradient tool again and make a nice lighter sky blue on top. Give myself a middle blue in the middle. I'll adjust it so I don't want it to be too deep. I don't want the back to be overwhelming. And I'm going to just leave this bottom part dark. I'm going to change it to a bit more greenish here. So we're looking like we're more of a swampy sort of tour going on. Perfect. That's a nice looking circle. Now we need some waves to go around this underneath here. And I could, of course, make some waves with the pen tool and just kind of make them as best as I can to kind of adjust it to look like waves, but I'm not going to be very consistent. My waves are, well, these are awful waves, honestly, but they're not consistently the same shape. I want my logo to look very clean and not too random. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to start with a guideline. I'm going to just stick a rectangle in there so that I know I've got a straight line pretty much to work with. So when I start my wave, I'm going to let it start right on the path of the rectangle. So when I start my wave, I'm going to start it just right above. If you click right on the path there, it'll actually blend it into this rectangle, which I don't want. So I'm going to just go right above, start my wave there, go to the top of my wave, give it a curve. I'm going to go down here, make sure that it is at the same level as my first point. You can see it is because it aligns with that pink line, that guideline. I'm going to drag that over so my waves got kind of a low point in it there. And that's basically where I'm going to have them hooked together. So now I'm actually going to just create the upper portion of my wave, and you'll see why in a moment. is I'm going to go to my selection tool, and I'm just going to hold down Alt and click my right arrow to make a copy of my wave. Why did it only make that? What? So with my selection tool, I'm going to hold down Alt. I'm just going to drag out another copy of this wave. And I'm going to line it up so that this new wave, oh gosh, again. So I'm going to hold down Alt, and I'm just going to click my wave and drag it, and because I'm holding down Alt, it creates a copy. And then I'm going to adjust this copy so that it's sitting right on top of our rectangle. That's why we had the rectangle guide to start with. And it lines right up, so we have a smooth curve between each of those. And I will be able to do that multiple times to get myself enough nice waves. And that up there. And I have several good waves going on. I might even throw an extra one here just in case. I want to make sure that it's long enough to cover what I need it to cover. Sometimes that happens. When you hold down the Alt key but don't let it go before you adjust it, sometimes it actually doesn't copy, but it moves it instead, which is kind of annoying. So now I'm going to select all of those by holding down Shift. I'm going to combine them, unite them with this shape here, this Pathfinder tool. And now I've got all these nice waves that are consistent. They've got this obnoxious little dealio going on the bottom there. But I can go in, and that obnoxious deal is because I've got two anchors where they combine. There's an anchor, and there's an anchor. And I can actually hit my minus key, and it will turn my pen into a delete anchor point tool. And I can go in, and I can just say, I don't want to have this bottom anchor point. I do have to do that to each of them. But in this case, it's not too tricky because I've only got 5 waves going on. Once I've deleted each of those anchor points, my wave should be beautiful and smooth and ready to go. I can go back to my selection tool, and I'm actually going to use this as a shape to cut out the top of my wave. So we'll use our rectangle that we've got here. Stretch out the rectangle as long as we need it to be, so that it goes under the entire wave. And we'll just select both of them, use our Pathfinder tool to get rid of the front, minus the front. And we've got our waves now. I don't want them to have a gradient, so while I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to make them kind of swampy colored. There we go. Let's compare how it looks over here. Some swampy colored waves going on. Not too bad. I might want to adjust it afterwards. Alright, turns out I actually needed another wave on there. But I don't want to have to deal with that. I can just grab the anchor points, expand it beyond my circle, take these multiple anchor points, and you're holding down Control to grab those multiple anchor points. Come on. So to adjust it to my circle, I can just grab my direct selection tool, click on a single anchor at a time, drag it out so that it's covering up my entire circle as I need it to. This one I wanted to just kind of smoothly go out of the circle. Over here we got kind of a mess going on. I just had curve nicely out of our picture here. Alright, and then we have the water basically where we need it. We need to take it up a bit more so that the boat's actually in the water. And from here,